and, and we're live. Test 1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Test 1 2. Oh, yes. Trying to make sure you guys can hear me good. Let some people get in here, man. Before I speak on this. What's going on? I see you, Brandon. Just want to make sure. I still haven't upgraded any of my equipment yet. I got my little light here, but you know that's not really doing much anything for me right now. Let me see if I can change that up some. Yeah, it's better. I still haven't upgraded yet. Been having I guess a lot going on, but enough to keep me busy. But I still do plan on upgrading here soon in the next couple of weeks. The main thing that I definitely want to upgrade is my microphone. I want to get a microphone as well as a camera upgrade. Everything else I'm not really pressed about, but you know, until such a time, this is how we're going to press on like this. I'm gonna try to do StreamYard more versus just being on my phone, just because it's easier because I'm already on my laptop a lot more now. Anyways, so yeah, that's how that's gonna go. Order that creed to save your relationship. That's funny. Um, so I thought about making this video, and I wanted to figure out a way that I could to speak on this situation without being my top button is button. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Hey, look, I'm casual now. This is my work uniform. Business casual with them, Brandon. What do you mean? Um, I thought I because I wanted to speak on this, um, but in the most respectful way possible. Um, and I feel like the easiest way to do that is to speak on how a situation like this um, affected me. I think that's the best way to get the point across that I really want to get across without, you know, seeming like I'm just coming up here to um, just go in on somebody else's relationship. So, what up, Jay? Solo hits, what's up? What oh, unbutton. Jay put the club lights on. That look crazy. That's in the living room and my bedroom. I'm gonna bring them lights. I should have brought them in here. But that'll be a part of the new setup. So we working on it. I'm gonna get them in here. I might order another set because I got them in my bedroom and I got them in the living room. I might as well just order another set. Like 20, $30. But I'll put them on for next live feed I do or video. They should be in here hopefully. Maybe it's best to remain single until they get that bag up. No, I you know, and at first glance, we don't do that in Virginia. And I'm different, bro. I've always worn my button to the top. I'm just a little different. So I'm cool with that. I love when I do shit. People tell me that that's not what everybody else do. That's a compliment in my opinion, because I'm not trying to be like everybody else, not anymore anyways. Especially when it's YouTube shit. There's a bunch of weirdo shit up here. We ain't gonna get into that. Sensitive ass niggas. But anyways, keep losing my train of thought. I had a situation at CRST, story time, right? And if you're coming in, you know, just hit the like button. You can comment, you can call in. I don't even know what the link is. I'll put the link later. I'm sure y'all gonna come in here and go crazy. So we're gonna try to keep it keep it classy. Um, I had a situation at CRST, and I'm not going to put the person's name out there, even though if you guys have been following me since day one, you should probably know who this is, but I won't confirm or deny who it is. I had a situation at CRST with a guy that I knew there, a guy that I was going to team with. He used to do YouTube. I'm not sure if he still does. But he had a situation to where he had to go local not long after we both end up leaving CRST. Mind you, this was about maybe three to 6 months into our trucking careers. He had to go local because he had a situation with his old lady where, not to get too specific, he just had to be home because for the sake of his relationship, he did not feel that he could sustain that relationship over the road. He just needed to be home for the health of that relationship. And I know at first glance, the hardcore truck drivers they like to run hard, be away from family, sacrifice uh, all these different sayings that they'll say to hype you up to be away from your family. But the reality is that shit just isn't for everybody. It's not. I know that we in trucking we have been conditioned to normalize that, being away for long periods of time. But it's not normal. And it's a huge strain on the family. And I think we kind of just say that as an understatement. We just kind of say it in passing because, some of us have been doing it for so long. When I say so long, of course, I mean 2, 3, 4 years, that we're just used to it. Like, the thought of leaving our family for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, it becomes second nature. But in reality, to a regular person, telling your kids that you're not going to see them for 3 weeks, telling your wife or your significant other that you're not going to see them for 3 to 4 weeks, that is not normal. And I think I have to preface, everything I'm going to say with that. So when you watch relationships have certain outcomes because of a trucker's career and having to be away, you got to understand sometimes that is what comes with being a truck driver. Truckers have a high divorce rate. It's the truth. Look it up. Google it. I'm not sure the specific numbers, but truckers have a high divorce rate, especially OTR truckers. And, I know that we are macho men and our masculinity is important to us. Our pride is important to us. So a lot of truckers aren't going to come up here and say that they go local because of their relationships, but that's exactly what it is. It's not money. It's not none of that other shit. Niggas is getting pressured by their old lady or their wives to be home more. That's just what it is. That's what it was for me. And we're looking at our situation like, man, you know what, man, I just spent a lot of my life making a certain amount of money, because I'm not going to disrespect the money that local truck drivers make, even though it is a rarity for it to be above average, but it's still there. You go from making a certain income your whole life, and then you go OTR, and 9 times out of 10, unless you come from a life of privilege, your life drastically improves because you're OTR. But what happens is when you go back local, that sudden jump of production and your pay and your lifestyle, it almost slows all the way down because you slow your progression down when you go local. Right? And I'm giving you guys the backstory to this because I'm trying to see if for those that are single and those that don't deal with this, I'm trying to paint a picture as to how this can become a big issue in marriages and relationships. for those that may can't see it. So you don't want to slow down. You know, you're a year or 2 years into your trucking career, and if you stay OTR, you have the potential to make over $100,000. But if you come local, you know, you're going to cap yourself at maybe 60, 70, 80,000 at the most. And we're not even talking before medical expenses, insurance, and those things. You know what I mean? So in the mindset of most OTR guys or guys who are hustlers and trying to get that money, they're like, baby, you know, I understand you want to see me more. I understand that, you know, the kids miss me and they crying for me at night. But baby, I can make $100,000 like take home. Like I can really do something with this. 5 years OTR, I might can have a truck cash, or I might can, you know, have, you know, capital to do something else. Which is why I tell guys when you go OTR, you have to have a, especially if you have a family, a significant other that's waiting on you to start a family. You can't just come out OTR with a family back home and just be like, man, I'm just gonna wing it. I'm gonna just be OTR for now. We'll see what happens. It has to be a plan of how long you plan on being on that road, because you have a ticking time bomb if you don't address it. Because for whatever reason, you have some women in relationships where they don't care about how much money you make. There are women out there like that. They want you physically there versus an extra $30,000 a year. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not here to judge that thought process. I'm just telling you that's what happens. And so you have a guy who is ambitious. You have a guy who sees the potential of his industry and the money that he can make. And then you have a woman who don't give a fuck about none of that. All I know is I married this dude. I didn't marry him for him to leave. I didn't have a baby with him for him to leave. And now you got two strong, bullheaded people who aren't going to change the way that they're thinking. They're not going to change. And that's where you have a lot of issues with trucking relationships. It's one of those things that it's not going to go away. It's not going to disappear. You know what I mean? You just have to understand what it is that you're trying to get out of trucking. That's why you hear people say it all the time, man. Trucking isn't a job. It's not a career. It's not a hobby. This is a lifestyle. So when you sign up for this, especially OTR trucking, let's speak specifically to OTR trucking. When you sign up for OTR truck driving, you are telling your family members, listen, I'm gone. Like I'm willing to not physically be here. I love you, all that. That's cool, but we got to go get money. Let me read some of these comments. You know, if the plans be honest, women really don't know what the fuck they really want. Ain't gonna get into that. I'm just picking a truck. I already have an exit plan. I work with y'all. Save and buy your truck. If we go local, make a amount of money. Local don't make money in VA. Something being local. Okay, cool. All what y'all saying is cool, man. I'm not gonna get into the comments of this. Really. So when I look at Jay and Sunshine's situation, because that's why we here, let's talk about it. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Like it ain't no other way to look at it. It's fucked up. But let's use this as a lesson. You know, let's take Jay and let's take Sunshine's situation out of this. If you are 21 to 25, let's say 30, 21 to 30, and you are considering becoming an OTR truck driver, you have to really ask yourself a hard question. And it may seem simple, but it is a hard question. Are you willing to risk everything for this? Because that's what you're going to risk losing. Are you willing to risk everything for this? Like, let's be honest. Are you willing to risk your marriage, your relationship with your kids, your perception of you from your family? Are you willing to risk it? I want to see some answers. Are you willing to risk it? Like right now, 76 people in here, right? If your old lady hits you up and said, look, me or the truck, what y'all choosing? And keep it a buck. Keep it a buck. We can have an honest conversation. If your old lady, your wife, your significant other said, look, it's me or this business. Is it me or this career? You got to do something else. What y'all going to do? Who cares about perception? Some people do, Darnell. Me specifically, I don't. But some people hold that just as high as, some people hold it higher than a significant other, depending on how family oriented. Choosing myself over anything. The truck. If no kids, truck. Chase them up. What if you have kids, Mr. Black? What if you have kids? Excuse me. Because I'm telling you, this is something that truck drivers deal with every day. I almost lost my marriage behind my trucking career. 2018. I never forget it. And it's so funny because it correlates with, that's why it's so funny when people, we talk about drama and people like watching a train wreck. One of the most profitable times in my trucking career was the end of 2018 when I was going through the worst period of my trucking life, like in life. Like I was separated. Like we had separation papers drawn up. Like it was over. Like it was finito. You know what I mean? And trucking wise, I wasn't in a bad situation. I was 1099 on the road and I was depressed all the time. And my trucking job really wasn't bad. It's just that shit at home was so fucked up. So I've been there, man. Like, choosing that check over your family. And that's not always an easy decision. And it's a decision that I've gone back and forth with a couple times. I've missed out on a lot of money off of just like, you know what, man, I don't want to be out here no more. Let me, part of the reason why I'm home now is that, I just saw an opportunity to where I could go home and, other opportunities presented themselves as well. We won't get into the specific of those. But I wanted to be home. I've always wanted to be home. I've always wanted to be home. Your lady, let's go read some of these comments. I'm responsible for my kids' inheritance. Kids are like buses. Oh, girls are like buses. That's crazy. Fuck her. Good gracious. I'm responsible for my kids' inheritance truck. If I had kids, I wouldn't even consider OTR, period. Wouldn't consider OTR, period. But some people do. If your lady make it her or the bad, your only option is the one that won't change on you. Without the truck, you can't feed them. Some women don't understand that. Some women really don't understand that, bro. It took me a while for mine to really grasp that. I don't have a wife, but I'll guarantee you on what father you and trucking. The truck she can still leave me. If I stay home, then I'll be left looking stupid. That's a big fact. If the shoe was on your wife's foot, would she sacrifice for you? Ask yourself. I believe mine would, but some would say I might be foolish for that thought process, but I do believe she would. She kind of has a big truck because it's how we eat. And there also, if you're the man of the house, it's a sacrifice. But see, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, Darnell. If you're the man of the house, It's a sacrifice. Some people don't see it like that. And this is where, for me, local versus OTR, that conversation was so passionate of mine because we throw that S word out, sacrifice, right? But if you are capable, like most people say that you are capable of making the same money local as you are OTR, then is the sacrifice necessary? That's the question. If you can make maybe, let's say, $500 less, let's be nice, $500 less a week local than you could over the road, being home, let's say, every other day versus home every day. Let's kind of be somewhat realistic here. That then eliminates the need for the sacrifice. But you have some drivers like myself who, at this point, I refuse to do local as a company driver, or anything where it's just so much more of a hassle. When I say local, I speak specifically. When I say local, I think W-2 company driver. So I'm excluding for this conversation owner operators, because it's just different. You work 3 days a week. But so what about that question? And I'll get caught up on the comments so I can see the answers. They never happy. I feel that love is about sacrifice, bro. Is it? Is it? Travel nurse wives do what we do, bro. Yeah, but travel wife nurse isn't as popular as truckers are. You know what I mean? This should be StreamYard chat. This is definitely a good conversation. Let me drop the link. Hold on, my fault. I'm tripping. I don't want nobody to think, you know what I mean? I'm running from no smoke. Whoops. Am I in here still? Okay. Let's go. Let's paste that right there. All right, boom. There go that link right there, man. There go the link. Link has been dropped. Where is that? What I do with the link? There you go. Link has been down. Y'all hopped in here quick. God damn, boy, ready for this. Ready, boy. Let's see. Okay, so we got Marvin here, and we got Brandon. What's going on, fellas?
I got
What's up with you?
about this shit, bro.
What's going on? What y'all got, man? Hey, look, man, I'm trying to keep this. I'll preface this before y'all speak. I am trying to keep it, classy, because we is kind of speaking on recent events. So I don't want to get too, even though what she did was fucked up, I don't want to get too disrespectful in regards to her.
Hey, bro,
I mean, that situation that they got going on, that has nothing to do with me, so I really don't have to speak about it. There's three sides of everything, bro. So we don't know what really happened.
I just want y'all to know that that's what birthed this conversation. Cause I don't want nobody to say that I'm trying to bait y'all into throwing shit. Y'all know how that shit go, man.
Yeah. But this is how I feel about it, bro. Because when I first came into trucking, I was an operations manager, all right? And I got laid off from that job. And the only reason why I even got a CDL because I thought about the money the owner operators to make pulling out the port. Okay. Now, when I first went OTR, I was engaged. You know what I'm saying? We had a little spot together. She had her daughter, that was my stepdaughter, whatever. And when I left, I kind of had the mind frame like, look, I'm either going to do this and it's going to work. She's either going to be there or she's not going to be there. Okay. Now, to make a long story short, it didn't work out. Me and her, she didn't like me being gone all the time. I wasn't making that much money at the time. It was a whole bunch of back and forth stuff. And when I got my first year, how everybody said on YouTube at the time, you get your first year, you can go ahead and go local and pretty much write your own checkbook, which is a lie. I hate when
niggas say that shit, man. Because I tried and I looked.
let me tell you something. When I did my first year at PTL, I found me a local job pulling containers. Okay, I was making like maybe 900 to 1,000 a week. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't no money. Not for the lifestyle that I wanted to live. I'm not trying to sit here and be like I was like living like I was in Beverly Hills, nothing like that. But my rent was $1,500 a month. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I used to like, that was back in the day, people used to wear 8732s and Jordan, stuff like that, whatever. But it was like, okay, I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, went to work at 6, got off at 5. It takes an hour to get home with traffic and stuff like that. So I'm getting home at 6, playing with the old lady, whatever like that. By the time I get to bed, I'm getting to bed by maybe 8, 9, 10 o'clock sometimes.
Right.
Then I'm getting right back up at 4, and I'm doing it 6 days a week. It got to the point that I'm like, man, I can't do this no more.
Yeah.
So I went back on the road with bar none. And when I went back on the road, she told me right then and there, she's like, look, if you go back on the road, I don't know if we're going to make it. And I kind of had a look at her. I've been like, look.
That shit crazy, bro. Because what I had to realize was, here's why I look at, when I was, OTR versus local, what I came to the realization of anyways, when I was local, right? And I'm talking, when I say local again, I'm saying W-2 company driver.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking to.
Fam, I was so fucking tired all the time. Like, yeah, I was home every day. I saw the family. I saw the wife. But it was lazy dick. I really wasn't playing with my son. Like, the only day I really had off was Saturday. You know what I mean? Like, and what I realized is when I was OTR, I would come home and I could take a week off and we could do whatever the fuck we wanted to do. Like, we could take a trip, we could sit around the house naked, we could do whatever the fuck we wanted to do, no interruption. And that's what I fell in love with. That local shit of like, and that's what I be trying to tell cats now, which I wish I knew back then, is like, look, man, if you want to be local, you have to be local, but I'm not knocking nobody. But I'm really understand what that local shit, I don't think niggas understand the schedule in local. Like, that shit is a rough schedule to sign up for every single day.
That shit back to back.
And I ain't gonna be here long, so I'm just gonna get a little bit out now. But I know you asked a question about either you're gonna choose home or you're gonna choose a truck, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people say they're gonna choose a truck. My only answer to that question is that you should use the truck. If you want to be home, if you want to have a normal life, you need to use the truck to be able to get out the truck.
Right.
Know what I'm saying? Right. Like, when I used to make videos, everything I always preach was do not invest all your money into this shit.
Yeah.
It don't matter if it's lease, finance, cash, or whatever. You can go on the road and somebody can total your job right there, first day.
That's a fact.
So it's like, when people look at truck driving, I don't look at truck driving as a career. I just don't. I see it as a hustle. I see it as something you can get some money real quick, use that money for something else that you really want to do. Because I've been in prison 10 years, bro. I'm not going to wait 10 years in a moving box, bro. I'm just not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And every time I talk to somebody that's been driving for 30, 40, 50 years, those older guys you used to see at Iron Skillet by themselves, I used to talk to them. And they always told me the same thing. It ain't worth it.
Yeah.
They don't know their kids. They divorced. Their family died. They couldn't get to the hospital in time. I heard so many stories from these old guys.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't even. I think, well, who was? I think it was Jay Canal. I think he was on the road and some shit that happened to his son. And he had made a video about it, man. I can't imagine no shit like that, man. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, I don't know. You got some people who, from what I've seen, I'll speak to my situation, right? Mm-hmm. I went local and my marriage got worse. Like, let's really talk about it. Let's really have a conversation.
I've been there.
I went local and my marriage got worse, fam. OTR probably has been more productive for my marriage than being home, because it gave us an opportunity to miss each other. It made us realize some communication issues that we needed to work on. Like, it was a reality check. You know what I mean? And sometimes the reality is the relationship that you in when you come into trucking is a relationship you shouldn't be in any fucking ways. And that's the hard truth.
Yep.
A lot of y'all niggas wife and joints you should have just fucked one time and been done with.
For real.
If we really having a conversation about it, you know what I mean? You know, you can't
I appreciate it.
You can't marry the smut joint.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of simping going on, man. And I'm trying to be respectful with it, but it's just like
you gotta call it how it is.
When you see a situation like we just saw, there's no way that them red flags won't there, bro. Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way. That's some shit like that just don't happen. You wake up and it's like, oh shit, nah, bro. Them warning signs had to have been there. And niggas just choose to turn a blind eye to that. Ain't no sir, bro.
You see, you need a special kind of woman for when you're doing this kind of job. You need a special woman.
That's a fact.
I'm gonna get out of here, JB. I'm gonna be safe, bro.
Peace
out,
out,
bro.
All right, hey, easy, brother.
I'm here to answer your question.
You need a special kind of woman that understands the mission, that understands what you're trying to do, that understand at the end of the day, it's gonna work out, and this is where we're gonna be at. Ain't no need of me coming home and doing local when I'm not gonna really be home, and then I gotta touch freight. It's not gonna work for me. And I told the young lady I was dealing with, hey, this is what I do. If you're down, great. If you're not, great.
So do you think that it's better for someone who may not be in a relationship to find a relationship before trucking, or once they're a truck driver, they might as well just hang it up until they leave that career altogether?
No, they can find one while they're trucking and before trucking. You just need a special kind of woman.
How do you find that, though? Let's talk about that. Like, hey, you an OTR truckers, owner, operator, whatever. Let's say you've been driving trucks 4 years. How you find a woman?
How do you find one? You go on the dating sites. You got apps. You got Tinder. You got the BLK app. You got Plenty of Fish. You got a lot of dating apps that's out there.
But you think you gonna find the one off? No.
I'm gonna ask for you to come and go.
I'm about to say, like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, maybe I'm old fashioned. Like, me and my wife went to school together, so.
That's where you're in the city. You want to bust a nut real quick, bro. They ain't no.
A lot of my relationships came off of the apps.
But that's your ass, bro. I'm not doing shit like that, bro. Fuck that shit.
POL. God damn, what you out there doing down there?
Hold up. Don't do it till you try it, man.
Man, I'm not doing that shit, bro. How old are you, bro?
Hello. If you ain't got to do it, it's a choice.
How old are you?
Say that again?
How old are you? What's your age?
I'm 48 years old.
That's why you're doing that shit, bro.
Hey, so
I'm doing it for convenience. That's really why I'm doing it, because I'm on the road.
So you asked the
hit and go, bro. It's not a hit and come and marry.
Hey, look. So you asked the question, truck or wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said truck, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if a woman gonna tell me that if I don't get out the truck, she gonna leave me, then that means that she don't have a sense of loyalty. I understand you need me more than your life, but for me in the situation, I'm gonna establish everything at the beginning of that relationship. Right. I'm gonna let her know my job comes first. Actually, the Most High come first, then my job, then you. Right. So you're gonna have to understand that I gotta have to put the food on this table. I'm gonna have to provide. I'm gonna have to provide that security. So if you can't understand that, that means that you just don't get it and shit. So
yeah,
if she gonna put that on the table, then I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna make another family. What you talking about? I'm gonna make a whole nother family. And I lost my recent relationship because of trucking, because I got so busy in it. So that just taught me that I need to structure my next relationship the right way so they can understand. So I know better now.
Right. But let me ask you, Mr. Black, do you think that, you know, everybody is having that conversation in the beginning? Or do you think that, you know, other things occupy your thought process at the beginning, and then they wait till it's too late to have those conversations, and it's over?
some people in the beginning, just like me years ago, I didn't have that knowledge. I didn't have that understanding, that foresight to be able to like put that on the table.
Right.
It's like you had to like you got to learn as you go. Like some people like me, like my dad wasn't always in my life. If he
For sure.
was, he would have bestowed that wisdom upon me so I could have like a better outcome in a relationship. Some people, it's like so many variables when it comes to these relationships. Some
You
people
think
just ain't got the information.
you think it's an age thing or maturity thing?
I think it's maturity mostly.
Mature.
You gotta have that knowledge.
Would it be safer for me to tell then if you're say 21 to 30 and a truck driver, you shouldn't even be thinking about a relationship?
Not really. You want to try to attain enough finances so you can become stable. Like you wanna not only have stability with finances, you want to have your mentality, you want to have your mindset stable. You want to be able to understand the society that you're living in too. You want to have a better understanding of these women as well. So by the time you get to that relationship, you know how to handle that relationship. Because like in the beginning, you just out there like failing and shit. You just doing shit, winging it.
Right. Well,
I think in a perfect world, can I say something real quick?
Yeah. Get your shit off, bro.
I think in a perfect world that works, but at the same time, if you find love in a woman, you find love in a woman. But all men should know what type of woman they dealing with. Like you shouldn't, like every man know. Okay, yeah, if you feel
not if you're a simp
or you second guessing. I mean, yeah, but I mean, if you're a simp, you already fucked up. Like it ain't really too much you can do. But I'm saying like if you a man though, like if you a real like.
A lot of
I don't know what buddy talking about dating apps. Like you ain't gonna find no love on no dating app, bro. Like
he say POF, Tinder.
That ain't gonna work, bro. Like
and a lot of men don't become men until they go through some shit too. So that's real shit. You gotta go through.
Okay. Do what you feel.
It ain't about what I feel. It's about what I know.
You knocking them down? You knocking them down over there, Darnell?
I don't operate it. I don't
so you over there knocking them down on the POF?
I ain't got no comments.
Oh, we got somebody else in here. Hold on.
Bro, knocking the Cougars down. We talking about finding love in a woman. We talking about one night shit. You know.
Somebody say dating apps work. I mean, I do think that maybe, but I wouldn't say it's I wouldn't think it's a high percentage. But you never know.
It's popular right now.
That's probably like 90. That's probably like 90.
What's going on, Jay?
What's going on, man?
I think you have to establish yourself before you even think about a relationship. Most people.
But this is young man conversation. I'm going, y'all.
All right, bro.
People get in a relationship and they're not even together yet. So then they try to get themselves together by driving trucks and they figure out everything. So what you have to do is have a foundation before you even bring somebody on, as a companion, so money can be secondary. So if you getting into trucking at 21, you're not even stable yet because you just trying to figure out what you want to do.
Right.
So if you establish everything beforehand and then you have a plan, then money becomes secondary. You know what I mean? I'm a firm believer of a Bible and everything like that. So when God created man, he gave him a job. What I mean? He gave him responsibility before he even gave him a wife. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's
for sure.
So and he's the creator of marriage. So if he's the creator of marriage, then you should, you should follow the person that created it. So if I'm gonna be married, I'm gonna make sure I establish finances, I establish who I am and what I desire and everything, and make that and build that first, and then, I can be able to pursue a woman, and be able to make that work, because I'm already established, and money is secondary now because I'm already established. And so that's the problem with trying to have a relationship, because some people are immature, and they try to do something that they're not even ready for, because being in a marriage is a responsibility.
Right. I want to respond to this comment. So you niggas just basically saying OTR is better than being there to raise your kids. Fuck a bitch. Loyalty lies with your seed. I don't think that's what anyone is saying. I think for me, what I'm saying is that, when you go OTR and you have kids, significant other, whatever, family that you want to go home to, you just got to have a plan. Like, the reason I'm able to sit at home every day now is because I came out here with a plan, I executed it, and I got myself home. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now, both in trucking and other ventures, if it wasn't for the sacrifice of being OTR and grinding and being away for 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time. So no one is saying that we want to be away from our kids for an entire lifetime and be career OTR truck drivers for 40 fucking years. We just saying that it's more money OTR, and if the same way that an 18-year-old with a kid can go sign up for the military, go fight for a country that don't give a fuck about them, we can go on the road and actually build businesses that our families will profit from and have, funds for, hopefully, decades from now based off of. So I don't understand how people can't understand that part of it. You know what I mean? Now, if you don't want to, if you want to be home every day so your kids can physically see you, then hey, man, that's cool. But that doesn't make you a better parent than me. It just means you're seen more. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's a big misperception, is if you don't see your kids every day, you automatically are labeled a bad parent. If you don't see your wife every day, you're a bad husband. I think that couldn't be further from the truth.
Hey, look, I had to work 2 jobs one time, and I was barely home all the time. I was just so tired every time I come home that I couldn't really do nothing with the kids. But me driving this truck over the road, and then when I get a week off, we do a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? They have fun and everything.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it.
I think that the truck drivers. Go ahead. Oh, he left. I was saying, I think that the truck drivers that get the rep for being bad parents are just bad parents. I don't think they're bad parents because they're truck drivers. I know truck drivers who are better parents than niggas that see their kids every day. You know what I mean? So I just think that that's just a bad perception that has been put out there 9 times out of 10 by some female that was scorned by a truck driver that was just passing through. But most of the truck drivers that I know and respect are great parents. Like, so, when you throw the kids in there, I think that's a bad comparison. Now, when it comes to a woman, that's a little different. You know what I'm saying? But with kids, it's like, 9 times out of 10, the reason that person on that truck is because they do have kids.
Right.
Just say
because after all, as a man, you're supposed to provide provision.
Yeah.
Security.
You know what I mean? Because then you come local and you take a $50,000 pay cut, and now you a bum. So you can't win regardless.
This is why, men should just wait to have children until they have everything in a row. Have your ducks in a row, man. Like, have your shit together. But if you already in it, you just gotta go with what's already there. But if you ain't got no kids, you're a lucky person. Get your shit together, and once you reach that point, you're gonna have everything that you need. You're gonna have that structure built to support your family. So that's all I'm saying. It ain't like I'm saying like I don't care about my children. No, I'm just saying have your shit together. It's gonna be a lot easier in the latter end.
Yeah.
Work out a delayed gratification. That's how I see it. Delayed gratification.
Right. And it's so crazy because I know, especially with my generation, born in, let's say, between 88 and 95, like, that's almost normal. Like, to have your first kid at this, like, to have a kid before 25 is like normal. Like it's to a point now with a lot of my peers that if you're over 25 without kids, you're almost looked at as like what the fuck wrong with them? Why they don't got kids? You know what I mean? Versus in the older days, you know, you may not have your first kid until you're 32, 33. Whereas now they popping out kids at fucking 17, like it's a part of life. Like this is what's supposed to happen. Girls walking across stages pregnant, you know what I mean, graduating high school. So I think that's a lot of it too.
Yep.
So many comments. Trying to understand a woman will get you fucked up. That's funny. Yourself. But explanation thoughts is married and telling cats that. Let's see. I know personally as niggas that's OTR to run from responsibilities. We gotta talk from all aspects. Oh yeah. Like I said, a bad parent is a bad parent. You know, what we are speaking on are parents who are good parents, they're just OTR. Because you only hear, to me, maybe I'm just in a box, but I only hear this in trucking. I don't never hear this about the military. I don't never hear this about all the other professions like merchant seamen, longshoremen, guys who travel for contracts overseas, work on military bases overseas as contractors. All these different professions that people travel and gone for weeks and days and months. I don't never hear nothing about them being bad parents, but truckers are always the worst parents.
Let's be honest. Is it really about the children or is it about the woman? She just want more attention from you.
Oh, of course.
Could it be that? Could it just be that?
Because the kids think you a superhero. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like the kids love you. It just be the mama. And it would be so crazy. I've seen it to where the kids love their daddy, but the mama want the kids to hate the daddy so that the daddy will come home for the mama.
Yeah.
So,
And
you know what I mean?
And that's another reason why I said I'll make another family. If she turned my children against me, my heart is, man, like, look, man, you ain't about to pull my little heartstrings and all that. Don't play with me like that, because I'll make a decision like that and I'll create another one. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Don't ever try to put my kids, don't ever try to leverage my kids like that, man. That's foul.
Yeah, that's a fact. But they'll do that shit, real shit, but that's the part people try to avoid talking about. What West Baltimore say? I know personally. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, I seen that. After you spend time building yourself and enjoying life, when you decide to settle down, don't get a marriage license, draft a contract. I didn't know you could do that. Say some prayers for you, brother Jay. Keep your head up. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I always appreciate prayers. Lord knows I need them because truckers are ignorant. Everybody's ignorant.
Yeah, I'm about to get up out of here though. I'm on the road and shit. But good talk. Good talking with you. Yep.
Well, I was listening to Trucker Brown the other day, and he said that he went Sullivan for 2 years. I think that's what he said. And you know, to get himself together. You know what I mean? Because he ain't just giving himself up. He wanted to establish himself first, and that was a big key. And you know, a lot of people, they don't see it that way because they want what they want, but they don't know the responsibility that come with it. They don't know the headache that come with it.
Right.
So
yeah,
you know, it's all about maturity to me.
Right.
You know,
I think, you know, like, I think, you know, well, go ahead.
No, you go, you got it.
Oh, no, I was just saying, I think, you know, the main thing that I took from this conversation, in my opinion, TB is not a good example. He's stupid. I think what I took from this conversation is that people need to be better prepared for the relationships that they choose to be in. Like a lot of people, relationships are messed up. And even if we using more recently the Jay and Sunshine situation, it's a lot of things that were said and they're back and forth that it was kind of just like, okay, this is bigger than just, you know, him being gone or being a trucker. Like, it's some things in their relationship that they should have addressed prior. First of all, that whole thing shouldn't have been on YouTube, but we here now, so whatever. But like, it was some issues. Like, you got to understand, when you in a serious relationship with somebody, you can't let shit slide. Like if you feel a type of way about anything that your mate has done or is doing on a consistent basis, you have to address that shit. Period. Like right there on the spot. Something as small as, hey, babe, I don't like it when you leave your socks on the floor in the kitchen. You got to address it, because if you don't, that shit will build the fuck up. It's going to build up. I see you guys in the queue. I'm running. I'm ISO right now. I'm gonna get you back in here. You have to, and communication is, oh my God. Once you stop communicating, like that's it. That's it. It's over. You can be fucking. You can still be spending money on each other, just going through the motions of everything. But when y'all stop talking, like just having like conversations, like, you know, like the thing I love most about my wife is we can sit down anywhere, put our phones down and just talk about anything. It ain't gotta be no Romeo, I want to eat your put. It ain't gotta be none of that type of shit. Just on some talking, like, hey, how your day? How you going? How you feeling? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. That communicating that right there, man, I'm telling you, man, when you lose that, you can hang it up. You might as well leave a relationship. I'll put the link up in a minute. So if you call yourself being in a serious relationship, and you even considering not just trucking, any position where you're gonna have to be away, you're gonna have to be honest with each other, man. Any small things that you may feel are like little, like even things that you may think are ridiculous, you have to tell them. Hey, when I send you a text message, I don't like the fact that it takes you 3 hours to respond back to me. If you could just text me back just to let me know you got the text message. Little stuff like that. You'd be surprised, bro. You would be so, especially, again, man, like that's all you have when you OTR and you have a significant other. It's communication. That's all you have. That's it. You have nothing else. So it don't matter how big her fat her ass is, how big her titties is, how good her pussy is, you know, whatever that she does for you. Don't none of that shit matter when you on that road. If she don't talk to you, she a dud. That relationship is a dud. Sex good. She's good to look at. You know, you put her on YouTube, show her off as a trophy wife. That's cool. Get your views up. You know what I mean? The Coco Challenge. You know that what all the female do your pre-trip in your booty shorts and your tight clothes, and you know you're bending over to drive tires and all that shit. That shit cool. It look good. But if you can't open up your motherfucking mouth and communicate to a man or a woman and be human to them, you ain't gonna never be in no relationship. You ain't never be in no good one. You fuck how good. For every bad joint out here, it's a nigga that's tired of them. Facts. No, you know what I mean? Not to take guilty saying or nothing like that. But for every bad joint out here, it's a nigga that's tired of her. Big facts. And you see that heightened in trucking. This niggas out here horny. They be driving out here 2-3 weeks. Nigga tired of looking at Pornhub beating his dick. So, you know, they come home, they horny. So they don't care about nothing else. You a brand new truck driver. Let's really break it down. Let's really break it the fuck down. You a brand new truck driver, right? You've been on the truck 3 months off and on. You know what I mean? We're going home and shit. So for every 4 weeks, you only get 4 days home. So for 4 weeks, your dick been hard as a mother. You want, boy, you can't wait to get to the wife. Yeah, I got issues though. You know, some small shit. Man, whatever. I don't care about that shit. I'm just ready to fuck. I got 4 days. I'm not about to waste 4 days to argue with her. I'm not finna waste 4 days just to talk about some shit that I deem to be small to the significance of the relationship for now. So I'm gonna go home for them 4 days and we're gonna fuck. And we're gonna fuck like rabbits. And because we fuck good, our relationship good. And you would be surprised as to how many relationships are functioning that way today. Because we fuck good, we good. So 1,000 red flags pop up between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. This bitch might kill me in my sleep, but she sucked my dick good, so I'm gonna let it go. And when the Titanic finally hit the fucking iceberg, even though the warning signs, sir, it's an iceberg ahead. Sir, it's an iceberg ahead. 100 miles, 50 miles, 30 miles, 20 miles. You just said, man, fuck that iceberg. The ship look good. It's the biggest ship in the world. Fuck that iceberg. Ain't nothing sink my ship. She with me. She my day one. She ain't with me just because of my money. Woo! She ain't with me just because of the attention she get for being with me. Woo! She ain't with me because she ain't got to go to work no more. Woo! We talking about it today. She with me because she love me. She with me because I'm different. Let me tell you something, my nigga. Unless you pulling out a 15-inch dick, you like every other nigga out here. Physically, anyways. You might got some personality. You can tell some jokes, hee hee ha ha. But you know what I mean? Like, you got to start being honest with yourself, fellas. Any amount of money that you can make, somebody else has already made. 9 times out of 10, anything that you can do to provide for her materialistic wise that you think is separating you from the pack, 10 other niggas can do. So if that's what you holding on to, my nigga, it's a ticking time bomb. It's a ticking time bomb. It's coming. And everybody see it but you. But she love me. She love me though. Hey man, listen, I hate to see it, but you know, the game is the game. The game is the game. You have to be careful out here, man. We make a lot of money as truck drivers. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. If you coming into this industry without a female that you potentially think is the one, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough because times is tough out here, and the streets is hungry. The streets hungry. You got motherfuckers ain't made money in a year. Legit money in a year. While we've been out here arguing over leasing and owning and authority and this and that and all this bullshit that we argue over, you got motherfuckers out here that's starving. And a lot of them are females. So what you think they're gonna do for their money? They don't females see, you understand, females hustle different. Females hustle different. They not finna come up here and stick them up. They not finna, you know what I mean? They not finna do it the way the niggas do it. No, baby. They hustle different. What you mean? Come on, man. Come on, man. Like, yeah, I don't gotta do I gotta spell this out for y'all? I like to think there's some intelligence out there in the trucking community. Don't make me spell this out to y'all, man. I don't know what else that can be said, man. Don't ignore the small flags, man, the red flags. Especially before you go and decide to do something as serious as being an over the road truck driver. Or even business. I mean, anything, man. Like if we want to expand this conversation, if you're having any small issues with anybody, any issue that you may have with anybody, Speak on it. Make them aware. And here's what I had to learn. Subliminals don't count. Take a sip of this real quick. Refreshing. Subliminals don't count. If I got an issue with you or something that you do, whether you a man or a woman, whether we a friendship or relationship or marriage, whatever, and I'm not man or woman enough to speak on the issue that I may have with you, I'm a coward. I'm a coward. And anybody who has an issue with you, small, especially if it's something small. Because my thing is, if you my mans, or if you my woman, if you my whatever, and we supposed to be what we say we is, but then for shit to unfold over the smallest shit, like were we ever what we claim we will be, what we was? The same thing I talk about with YouTube. Everybody best friend, but the shit that I see y'all falling out over be the most insignificant shit. Don't nothing hold, don't nothing stick. Niggas be throwing shit at a wall and seeing what stick, and niggas empires be crumbling, for lack of a better term. Niggas be winging it with the shit they be saying up here, and whole situations just unravel. Let me tell you something, man. That ain't no friendship. That ain't no relationship. That ain't not no productive one. What are you at? Hold on, y'all. Gotta get some diapers. It wasn't no productive friendship. You heard me? No, man, I done seen too much. I know too much. Been through too much. I see this shit a mile away now. That's why you don't really see me nowhere like that nowhere. You know what I mean? I be around, but I don't be nowhere specifically no more. People like, yo, who he fuck with? Like, man, look, I fuck with Jay. You hear me? I fuck with Jay. That's it. That's it. Because you can't trust nothing, man. We done seen everything on this YouTube shit. We done seen everything. We done seen best friends become enemies. We done seen relationships fall apart. We done everything. We've seen all kinds of niggas been fucking each other. Like, huh? Trucking YouTube, bro. I done told a couple of people this. We should have got paid off this shit. I ain't even gonna hold you. I feel robbed that we have not created a trucking reality show in the last 5 years. Niggas would be millionaires. If y'all would watch Duck Dynasty and all these other reality shows that I be watching the wife watch, fam, we would have made millions with this shit. Millions. What? Oh my God. Millions. All this bullshit be going on up here. I get so mad thinking about it, bro. All this shit, but this shit better than Love and Hip Hop, bro. What are you talking about? Like, you got niggas on YouTube glued to their phone for hours at a time. You know how hard that is to do? And we doing this shit, even though, you know, at the sacrifice of niggas' personal lives, but niggas don't care about that shit anyways, because all niggas want is attention. The social media epidemic of the 2010s is worse than the crack epidemic of the 80s. The social media epidemic of the 2010s, of the last 10 years, has been worse, in my opinion, than the crack epidemic of the 80s. Think about everything that we have seen on the internet in the last 10 years alone. That's 2011 for those that, you know, still think it's 2020. You got niggas, you know what I mean? And people say, crack was worse. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Crack ruined the black community. Social media has ruined the world. Only black people really took the full front, or the minorities took the full front of the crack. Social media has ruined everybody. You can get on Twitter now and see people dying, people heads getting cut off, all any type of explicit shit you want to see is out there. I watch R-rated movies now and be disappointed. I mean, I could have got on Twitter for this. PG-13, I don't want to see that shit. Because we have been desensitized to it. The internet is like crack. It's not it's the attention. People are addicted to the attention. Money used to be the root of all evil. These motherfuckers rather be famous than rich. That's a fact. That is a fact. That is why when people start to do better in YouTube, when people start to become more successful, their numbers go down. Drama get the views. Everybody has learned that lesson. Drama gets the views. That's just what it is. You just thirsty for the downfall of others. How? How was that? How am I thirsty for the down? I ain't thirsty for nobody's downfall, bro. I'm just now getting to where I want to be. Why would I? You know what I mean? I'm just speaking on what's going on, and I'm trying to relate it to an issue that everybody goes through, especially marriages and trucking. So that's the problem. We always think that shit is an isolated incident. That shit that Jay and Sunshine went through, everybody going through that shit. Y'all don't think niggas ain't out here cheating, or women ain't out here cheating on their husbands. Husbands ain't cheating on their wives. And trucking. Y'all think that's their situation, the only situation that's happening in? Oh, YouTube space. Oh, okay, for sure. The best way to do it now, Jay, old saying, friends with benefits, but keep his solo, bro. I mean, you know, it is becoming to a point where if you aren't, I'm gonna be honest, if you aren't already married or in a serious relationship, I feel sorry for you, man. I really do, because the way that the world is now and the way that people have such access to each other, and the way that people have the ability to become whoever they want to be on the internet, like you can really become a whole until you physically get in their presence. This person is whoever they want to be. It's tough. It's tough. Like we used to joke about catfishing, but it's so much deeper than that now. People not just lying about their appearance, they lying about their personality, everything. You didn't fell in love with a complete stranger. I've seen it. I would rather have a situation to where I think I'm going to meet a 170-pound girl and she show a 230, then fall in love with one person, and as soon as I put a ring on her finger, she becomes somebody else. I would much rather deal with the fat joint that I thought was skinny. But you would be surprised how many females are out here, and they are amazing until they get that name on that paperwork. And boy, oh boy, do they change when, ooh, woo. Man, that last name changed almost like a superpower. Well, but got him. Got him. You still can, Jay. Need somebody to know how to write a good script. 2 cameras attached, some trucks, a little makeup, ash. You know what I mean? Like we should. Shit. What up, Ryder? I see you. I had a date. She removed body sharp shaper and was open can of biscuits. And a roll a little cellulite. You ain't lying, niggas pay attention. Hey man, listen, man. I just came up here to have some, and to give you and also the point of this live feed as well was this is going to be the energy of my, I guess, show that I do want to eventually start. You know, when I get my microphone upgrade and my camera upgrade and some other things. This is just an idea. This is just an idea of how this is going to go. And, you know, again, I had to get over the pride of this isn't like everybody else has already done this formula. You know what I mean? And I just didn't want to be another guy doing it. You know, everybody already else does the StreamYard. They have the people call in. Everybody else is already doing it. So I didn't want to just be another guy to just come on and do it. But fuck that. I'm going to do it. I got the time. I do. Well, yeah, I do. I got the time. You know what I mean? So it's coming, man. But this is going to be the atmosphere of that. You know, a little more lights in the background, a little better lighting on me, better quality camera, all that shit, man. Especially on Facebook, people dropping like flies. That's a fact. That's a fact. So, but I'm about to get up off here, man. I've been up here. I wanted to do an hour. We had an hour and 10, hour 11. Listen, man, I hope everybody stay blessed. I hope nothing up here was said that offended anybody. But, I mean, I honestly don't feel like nothing was said up here but the truth. So you offended by the truth, 9 times out of 10, you are the problem. That's just what I believe. If you are offended by the truth, 9 times out of 10, you are the problem. So, but as always, man, y'all know the vibes. Stay safe, stay positive, stay productive, man. Shout out to my wife. God knows I wouldn't have what I have without her. That just wouldn't even be a reality. She probably is just as important, if not more important to my business than me. And I just got to put that out there because clearly, you know, having a solid woman at home is a rarity in these day and ages. So got to appreciate it when you have it. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of us, let this be a lesson to somebody who may be going through something with a woman who is worth keeping. Hey, man, you know, think about it. Do you really want to, you know, she may have you mad. Y'all may be going through some things. But do you really want to go out there and be stuck with a sunshine? A woman who will not only leave you and cheat on you, but get on YouTube. And then that's the shit that got me. Like, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't going to speak on this shit, and I was going to leave it alone. But then she got on the joint and tried to play, bro. Like, yeah, I cheated, and it was the greatest dick of my life. And I'm like, damn, shorty, ain't this the father of your kid? And you going to get up here and do him dirty like that? See, that's the shit that bothered me. And that's what I say. You can't let the small shit slide. Because when you let the small shit slide, so we're about to go into a whole nother thing. When you let the small shit slide, that small shit turns into resentment. It turns into resentment. So now we're started off as small things. Later on down the line, you now resent this person. Now it's almost like a hate that you have for this person. Instead of just addressing the small issue in the beginning, you have let it gone on for so long that now you resent this person. You hate yourself for still being with this person. You hate this person. And it's just a toxic, just angry situation. And you have what we just saw on YouTube, where now you're mocking this dude. You're saying he stink. You tell all these things like you were just with him. That shit blows my mind when anybody in a relationship or a friendship or any situationship, you immediately get out of the situation and you start talking shit. Like, I'm gonna keep a whole buck, and we gonna keep it really 1,000. That shit blew my mind when Smitty and TB went through what they went through, and Smitty went right to Guilty Channel talking shit about TB. That shit blew my fucking mind. Because it's like, hold on, whoa. How did we get here? Like, it's one thing if we're not friends anymore, but when we stop being friends, it immediately turns to enemies. Like, how long has this really been going on? I done had a lot of situations off air with a lot of other YouTubers that I've had issues with. TB, D-Raj, Low, Party Hard, Guilty, whoever. But out of all of those situations where either we stopped being friends or stopped speaking, it never turned into a immediate fuck this nigga. So when you go from being friends to fuck this nigga, you have some underlining feelings, some underlining resentment that once was something so small that I promise if you would have just talked to this nigga or talked to this woman about this, it wouldn't have got to this point. But because you let that shit grow, it's almost like a seed. It's a seed being planted in that relationship. It's either a good seed or a bad seed. We always use shit as an example and talk about the good thing, but we never want to talk about how this shit can go bad. When you plant those negative seeds of resentment, them bitches grow to full-fledged oak problems that you can no longer avoid. And then you still choose to avoid that problem. So now, instead of being confrontational with this problem, now you just avoiding this person altogether. Now it's, man, just fuck them. Fuck them. And you so mad and you so angry that you would rather lash out at this person than just talk to them. You would rather just, whatever, be done with it than just talk to them. You are so stubborn, so fucked up that is your choice of action. And to me, that's a fucked up person. Get as far the fuck away from that type of person as possible, because that's a selfish person, that's a conniving person, that's a manipulative person. That person will never be able to see and do anything for anybody but themselves. So as far as I'm concerned, Jay, you got yourself a favor done, bro. Because when you flip that switch, it ain't no coming back from that. That person too far gone. Somebody had to say it. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. She's fucked up for that. I've seen y'all get on YouTube and say way worse things about people who haven't done half the shit that she did to that nigga. Y'all done got up here with assumptions and went in way longer on people for way less. She got up here and tried to embarrass the man that then gave her a seed and been with. That shit corny. That shit corny. He better than me. Oh, I'm sorry. I'd have been up there like, bro, your hair was whack, your pussy stink, your hair fake. I'd have been going crazy. Like, but y'all got mad at me because I told you Coco do pre-strips half naked. And y'all got mad at me. But y'all letting these females get up here and do whatever the fuck they want. I want to know what Simp Nation at now. All you simps that was in my inbox, in my comments, threatening me over that Coco video. Where the fuck y'all at now? Huh? I'm gonna get kicked out of my apartment yelling this loud. Where y'all at now? She done played this good man. This is a good man. This is the man that y'all be saying y'all want. This man is a good brother, running a business, trying to take care of his family. I'm not saying he ain't do nothing wrong, but he do what she did. If Jay would have got up here and did this shit that Sunshine did, y'all would kill that nigga. I'm talking to the females, talking to the Simp Nation. Where y'all at? Nothing. Not a word. Quiet as a church mouse. Double standards, man. You gotta stop moving the goalposts. We gotta stop moving the goalposts, man. That's fucked up. And we can laugh it off. You know, we gonna joke. You know, people get mad, get offended. We'll turn this into a J thing. It's cool. But the truth is the truth, people. You can ignore it as long as you want. But the truth is the fucking truth. I'm out of here, man. As always, y'all know the vibe. Stay safe, stay positive, stay productive. Stop putting these bitches on pedestals and glorifying fuck shit. Stop it. Stop it. If we're gonna be real, everybody keeps saying they a real nigga. Let's be real 1,000% of the time. We can't just pick and choose when we're gonna be real. Oh, I'm gonna be real over here, but I'm gonna let this slide. No, we got to be real all the time. I don't know. I'm out.